Monstera adansonii, or Swiss cheese plant. A stunning fancy-leaved tropical plant. Nowadays, it is very popular in the houseplant market. So in this video, I'm going to talk about this beautiful houseplant, which is not only a very easy to care for plant, but also a living decor piece that you can add to your interior or garden. So let's begin. When we grow a plant, first we need to learn what is the origin of that plant, because it gives us the knowledge of how to grow and care for them. This plant is native to tropical rainforests, and it grows under the canopy of big trees. So this plant will require high humidity, warmth, and indirect light in our garden or indoors. This plant generally grows under the canopy of big trees, so it receives filtered bright light. Keep them in a bright area in your home or your garden. My plant performing well, although it's receiving 1 hour of the morning sun. But it cannot tolerate too much exposure to the sun. Also, by receiving a very less amount of light, lose their fenestration. This plant likes humidity around it, so try to keep it in a cool space in your home or garden. My plant was in an open place. The place was bright enough, but the humidity wasn't as expected. So I moved it and combined with my other low light plants, and now the leaves are looking lush green. It is not always possible to keep this Monstera in a cool place or provide sufficient humidity. Monstera is a vining plant and it has aerial roots. And these aerial roots help to climb up in trees for supporting its vertical growth, as well as absorb moisture from the air and tree barks. So you can mimic that condition by adding a moss stick or jute stick or cocopeat stick. They like moist soil. At the same time, the soil should be well draining. So I prepared the potting mix by adding 2 parts cocopeat, 1 part big chips, 1 part charcoal and 2 parts compost. And this potting mix holds moisture but drains out excess water. Monstera likes moist soil but also prefer to dry out between watering. I water my plant once every 4 days. But before watering, I check the soil using a stick. Stick it down, and if half of the stick sticking soil, then I skip watering that day and check the next day. I shared a detailed video on how to check the soil moisture, link in the description box. Add fertilizer once a month, because tropical plants require a good amount of nutrients. Use any type of well-rotten compost. I generally use vermicompost or kitchen compost. I also use a foliar spray. I mix up 1/3 teaspoon of urea and half teaspoon of Epsom salt in 1 liter water. And spray on the leaves once every 10 days. This plant is not susceptible to pests, but sometimes it may get mealybug infestation. I mix up 1/6 teaspoon of detergent and some chopped garlic in 250 ml of water. And using this water, I wipe the leaves properly. It keeps the pest away from the plant, at the same time keeps the leaves clean and shiny. It is very easy to grow from cuttings. Make a cut below a note and put it in soil or water, and within 2 weeks new roots will develop. Now my plant is not big enough, that's why I could not make cuttings out of it. But we'll try to make a separate video about its propagation. So that's all the things you need to maintain to keep this plant healthy and improve its growth. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.